a big haul day. Janessa and I went to the Fill Your Pantry event local to us, and it was kind of end of the season bounty, come get it. So there was a lot of vendors. It was kind of like a big farmer's market. So we bought, oh gosh, we bought onions and peppers and carrots and potatoes and apples and beets, more peppers, bread, hazelnuts, honey, a croissant, a pumpkin, ginger, croissant, help her. Oh, Lonnie. So anyway, we did that and got a lot of stuff to stock up for the winter. And so here we are. I have been processing the stew meat. Alex's elk that he shot this year, and been putting that into pint-sized jars. And then I did one batch. This batch is just meat. This will be just meat. I did do one batch with carrots, onions, and potatoes in it. And then I have some leftover potatoes. I'll put those in a couple of jars. And then I have these gigantic carrots. Gigantic carrots. Like, here's a butter knife. Look at that. Gigantic carrots. And then Ken is processing the elk burger. So grinding that up. Is this the second grind?
One more after this.
And we mix our game. So this is elk, but we mix our game with pork sausage. And this pork sausage is from the fresh hog that we bought off of the 4-H auction. So it's a local hog raised by our youth in the county. And so that goes to help our 4-H program. So we just run the elk meat through the processor, and then
run about a 20% pork elk.
And then we run it through with the pork, and then we'll a couple of times, and then we'll package that up. So, and a pumpkin. Got a gigantic, not a gigantic, but got this sort of a pumpkin. It's some sort of a, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a variation of the butternut squash is what she said. And this is, I don't know how many pounds of red potatoes. So, but that'll get us through the winter. And then we've got the dehydrator full of sliced apples, and then we'll do something with these apples, and then some more beets, and I'll make pickled beets, and then some onions to get us through the winter. So that's what we've been doing today, and we'll probably continue on the next couple of. Hi everyone. Hey, this is another day. I'm picking up on some more canning for the winter. And so far I've put in some applesauce. I have 7 pints of applesauce taken care of. I just put some apples in the crock pot, cooked that down, and then I put it in the water bath this morning. So that's done and cooling, and now I'm cooking up some beets. I'm gonna make pickled beets, and this is my second batch of pickled beets for the winter because Ken and I like pickled beets. So I thought I'd just bring you along. Okay, so I have all of my beets par-cooked and peeled, skinned, and so I'm just gonna slice them this time. Normally I just cube them. I'm gonna slice them for something different, and so I'll just slice these up, and then we'll put them in the jars, And something different that I'm gonna do is I've got some yellow onion I'm gonna put in the jar with them. Now my first batch was just beets and then the pickle brine, and I think I did add like some cloves to that brine, and I think this time I'm just gonna do a plain brine and add the onions, and we'll see if we like that any different. So here we go. Okay, so I just have some beets that have been cooked, and I'm just gonna take the top and the bottom off and peel them. All right, you guys have seen my slicer that I have. I've got this clear down to 3, and that'll make the widest slices. So we'll give this a shot and just slice all of these beets up very carefully. They're still pretty hot, so that's good for putting in my hot jars. Look how pretty those are. Look at that. Whew, hot. These might be too big to put into the jars. I'll probably have to cut those in half. I do have a safety thing that I probably should be using with this slicer. But we'll get these all sliced up and ready to go. Yeah, I think those are gonna need to be cut. They're so big. So pretty. Like I said, I've never done slices before, so this is a little awkward for me, but we'll see how it turns out. These beets here that I have are just half of the amount of beets that I have, so we're going to get quite a few. At least 14 pints. Oh, this is perfect. to get them full enough without being too full. These. Okay, so the brine is hot, and we're just going to fill up the jars. You guys let me know what you've done for putting things up for the winter. Have you canned or froze or dehydrated? What have you done to get ready for winter? Have you stocked up on meats in the freezer or dry goods? What do you guys like to do? I was thinking as I was working through the garden this summer that I really hadn't done too much, but thankfully I was keeping a little list as I was working on projects, and I was going through that list the other day, and actually I have put up quite a bit, so I am thankful for evenings and weekends to where I could just do little bits here and there and actually get some stuff done. So let me grab a knife, or a knife will be good. And then see, like, if I can do this, right there is an air pocket. And right there is an air pocket. So what we want to do is just get rid of those air pockets, and that way the brine can go all the way through. You just want to make sure that there aren't air bubbles in there. So you just run your knife or a chopstick or something along the edges and kind of maneuver things around, and then top it off with some more brine, and make sure that your jars are full enough but not too full. And then you'll get a good canned product at the end. Okay. And maybe readjust some of those beets in there so that my hands are clean, you guys. Wipe off the top so that that's nice and clean. See, just want to get everything nice and clean so that your lids will seal good. And the rings just on, finger tight. Whoops. And then we'll put them in the canner